So it looks like I made a massive mistake with my 12s for 2K Falcon, and it could have been fatal. Hey guys, and welcome back to Scotty's Garage. I know that intro sounded very dramatic, but it is actually the truth. We got given this AU Falcon a while back, and I've spent just over $2,000 on it with the aim of running 12s down the quarter. So, you know, it's been an interesting build. We've gone just over budget. I think we're at 2,169 right now, but yeah, it's, yeah, we've got it to a point where I'm pretty confident it should go a 12. But what we're going to do next is put it on the dyno and see what it makes now, see what more we can get out of it, and then take it to the track, because I don't feel like wasting everyone's time going back and forth to the track, you know, trying to run 12s, not running it, blah, 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 whatever. Let's go and run 12s next time we get out the track. But things got very rushed there towards the end. I got very behind with work and everything like that. So I put a full court press on the last week, trying to get the car ready for the track, doing all sorts of things like changing the diff and changing shocks and all that sort of stuff. We got the car ready just in time, like literally loading it on the trailer at night, getting it to the track. Of course, it didn't do very well. It ran quite poorly because we'd had no time to do any sort of tuning. And in fact, the car had the wrong tune in it. And so it had a 98 octane tune in it instead of an E85 tune in it, and therefore was running way too lean and wouldn't perform on the track. So all the excuses out of the way, we didn't do 12s. In fact, the quickest run of the day was a 16.1 at 91 mile an hour. And that's important, and I'll tell you why. Remember when I said I had the diff out of it and all those things and change the shocks and all that stuff? If, for those of you who watched the videos, you may remember, what did I say when it was jacked up? Don't tighten all the suspension stuff when it's jacked up in the air. You got to wait for it to be on the ground, tighten all the stuff up then. Yeah. Guess who didn't tighten anything? Yeah. I had my head under there yesterday, having a look at some stuff, and realised, well, found a nut on the ground for starters, and I was like, that looks like one of the suspension nuts. And then it went, oh yeah, I didn't tighten any of that stuff. Shocks, trailing arms, all that stuff, finger tight at best. Some of it purely just started and not even attempted to tighten. Everything basically under the rear there, loose. 91 mile an hour, 146 k's an hour with loose bolts in the suspension. Don't do that, kids. So this is what happens when you rush things. And I definitely did rush things towards the end, trying to get it ready. And yep, there's nothing tight under there. So my first job for today is to get under the rear end of this thing and tighten every nut and bolt under this thing that I've touched, because yeah, they're all loose. So let's make them unloose. Is that a word? I don't know. But yeah, if something had come adrift at 91 miles an hour, 146 k's an hour, now on a drag strip, 91 mile an hour is not a very fast elapse, or you know, mile per hour going through the traps. I've been through the traps at, what's my fastest? 175 mile an hour through the traps in, you know, in 400 meters. So that was 820 at 175 mile an hour in a convertible. Yeah, that's fast. 91, not so fast, unless you lose something in your suspension and end up head up on into a wall with a car that you've built for $2,000. Yeah. So we're talking minimal budget, minimal safety, and possibly something going terribly wrong. It could have gone all very wrong. So I'm just saying this so people realise when you rush things, corners get cut, and sometimes people's lives are in danger and they don't even know it. So I'm just putting it out there so people realise that double check things. Double check your work. Even have someone else double check your work sometimes. But yeah, I did not tighten anything and I need to get under there and tighten it. And in doing so, high likelihood I won't die next time I take it out. But yeah, things could have gone real bad. So anyway, enough of the doom and gloom. I made it. Nothing went wrong. I got very lucky. Yeah, very lucky. So let's not do that again. And let's get under there and tighten some of this stuff up because, yeah, it's not a good look, is it? Not really. All right, let's do that and then we'll move on to some of the other stuff I want to talk about. Dickhead. Well, that was dumb. I drove all the way over the ramps. So let's start here. Not tight. There's a good 1/8 of an inch there under the bolt head. Needs to be tightened. Sides also not as tight as it should be. Okay, so we'll start with here, which is definitely loose. Come on. Alright, that's somewhat tight. And yep, same again. Right, well, I've just climbed up from under there. Both rear lower trailing arm bolts were loose. Both lower shock bolts were loose. And one of the pan hard bolts was loose as well as the track locator for the diff. So yeah, not great. Not great at all. But it's all tight now. So crisis averted, and I hope that someone out there gets a lesson from this. But I think the lesson is don't let Scotty work on your suspension. But anyway, I seem to have got away with it. Maybe someone else not so lucky, so please take note. Make sure all your suspension and stuff's tightened before you go out to the track. Because yeah, even at 91 mile an hour, it could have been real messy. So anyway, let's move on to something else. So with the last minute rush of getting everything together, I haven't really talked about how I'm reading a wideband signal from my wideband sensor that goes into the dump pipe. So we've got the wideband in there, and it's a normal wideband sensor, the LSU 4.9, and it runs, like I said, normal lead with a normal plug. But one of my viewers sent me this little wideband controller box from an Australian company called Tech Edge, and with this comes another lead, so it has a normal wideband connection at that end, but then has this 6-pin plug at this end. Let me unplug that. So that's what it looks like at this end, and that plugs into your box. Okay, and then we just power up the box with this lead as well, so we've got 12 volts running to there, and then this lead, it's just an RJ45 connection, runs off to this little digital screen here. Now the screen is something that I've bought from TI Performance. It's cheap, it's about $99 or something like that. It wasn't super expensive, but it was cool being able to get that to plug into this so I can see in real time what the air fuel is doing. So I've just got it velcroed into the little slot there, and I've got my screen velcroed to the dash there at the moment. But the other function this has, this will simulate a narrowband output. So we could send a narrowband signal to the ECU based off what that wideband is seeing. We can also get a RPM signal. So if we were to find the RPM signal from the ECU, we could plug it into here. Same with TPS signal, all those sort of things, and we could data log all those things against each other, and then you would plug the computer into this other RJ45, so take that off to the computer and data log it with the computer, and that way we could see what everything's doing. So we could make a pass, see all those traces on a data log, and then make our tuning decisions based off that. So that way you don't have to just rely on the one screen, and also you can concentrate on driving instead of just looking at the screen. These wideband controllers, super easy to set up, like so easy. Basically I just had to run 12 volts to it, plug it in, I calibrated it, a free air calibration, so not having it plugged in, so not having it screwed into the exhaust at all, just holding it in the air, push the button, auto calibrate, and then once it was calibrated, bang, plug it in, and away we go. Works straight away. So nothing fancy. So we've just got a velcroed in there, which is super handy. And then a little screen there on the dash. And I'll just show you how that works right now. So if I turn the ignition on, see it says heat. So it's heating the O2 sensor right now. If I fire the car up, let me put this into, sorry, my shifter is playing games. Alright, so heating the sensor, saying lean, now rich, so showing 13.0 right now. So it's a bit lean at idle right now, or very lean. I'll shut that off. But yeah, gives you real-time feedback on what the air fuel is doing. So we're going to have to richen that up a bit at idle. It is lean at idle right now. It's not super worrying at the moment because, you know, it's at idle, there's no load, doesn't matter. But yeah, once we get it on the dyno, we'll definitely have to make some adjustments. But that is a handy little tuning tool and Australian made. So get it all from the TI website. So I mentioned before that the car is running a bit lean at idle. Now that is true. I mean, we can just tell by the way the car runs. Like you sit there and let it idle and it'll lean out until it stops running. And it's got nothing to do with the wideband measurements because that actually isn't hooked up to the computer in any shape or form. It is purely hooked to the gauge so we can read it. But it will read as lean because of this. The distance from the tailpipe to the wideband sensor is shorter than it would normally be. If it was this long, we probably wouldn't have too much of a problem, but because it's this long, you're actually getting air come in during pulses of engine running. Now, under wide open throttle, it's not going to be a problem. Under wide open throttle, this is going to be generating so much gas that it is going to give an accurate reading there. But under idle, where the engine's more like individually pulsing, you'll end up with a lean figure here because of just the shortness of this pipe. Overall though, I think it is pretty rich. There's a bit of black inside the pipe, but like I said, we'll find out for sure on the dyno. But I just thought I'd point out that, yeah, some of the lean figure is the fact that the wideband is too close to the end of the pipe, but it is actually lean, there's no doubt. And it won't matter when we have it under wide open throttle because, like I said, it'll produce so much gas that it'll give an accurate measurement of the engine's operating conditions. So from here, yeah, we need to take it to the dyno. So I don't think there's much more we can do. Like, we could pull some more weight out of the car. I mean, there's still the sound deadening in the car. We could pull that out. We could pull the heater out, and that is probably something I will do at some point down the track, but not really critical right now. And last time I pulled the heater out of one of these cars, I smashed the windscreen, so I probably don't want to do that again. But yeah, I think our next move is take it to max performance, take it to Zane, get it on the dyno, see what it's doing, and see if we can, well, see what sort of power it's making, and see what we can get out of it. And then from there, we'll go to the track. Now, we've already planned our next date. The next date is going to be March the 23rd, all right? So Heathcote Park Raceway, March the 23rd. It's going to be kind of round two for the 12s for 2K cars, and hopefully everyone will be there. So you should be there as well. Should be a good day. Last time was a great day, and hopefully, yeah, the weather will be fine and it'll be all good. But we're still 5 weeks away at this point. So that's our next date, March 23rd. Mark it in your calendar, and we'll see you at Heathcote Park Raceway. All right, moving on. What else do we need to talk about? Okay guys, so we're going to leave it there for this episode, but I do have some housekeeping stuff to do before we go. Number one of the winners of our Christmas prize, one of those gear wrench sets, has not responded to any of my messages yet. Wayne, if you're watching, reach out, dude, so I can get your address so I can send you your prize. If I don't hear from you in a few months, I'm just going to have to do a redraw or something because, yeah. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the prize is yours, but I need your address so I can send it to you. We are back to our monthly giveaways for the next few months until Father's Day. So the next monthly giveaway will be this lovely King Chrome 3/8 socket set. It is awesome. They're all awesome. I don't give away shit, I gotta say. I would love to have any of these kits. These are all better than my own tools. So, lovely little kit there. I forget what it's worth. I'll put the price in down the bottom here, but yeah, it's not a cheap kit, okay? So that will be our giveaway prize for the end of Feb. So make sure you are signed up, paid up on Patreon. You have to be a super fan or one of the new mega fans to be in the draw for that. So super fans or mega fans only until we get to Father's Day. So, you know, if you got to be in it to win it. Talking about mega fans, it is a new Patreon level that I've created in the last, I've decided to go 6 months with just, you know, a nice spread of levels, and I've created a new level. We've been 6 months into this deal, and I've had wonderful support from you guys. It's been fantastic, and we're going to do great things this year with your support. But with the new mega fans, it comes with a shout out, and there are a couple of you, so I'll just run through quickly. So thank you to Hayden, Ryan, Duncan, Mark, Andy, Michael, Stephen, Tanky, Shrek, Jesus Built My Hot Rod, Long Name Burnouts, Admi, I don't know what your real name is, but he calls himself Admi, fantastic supporter, and Mikhail. I mean, you guys have gone above and beyond. You are getting your free t-shirts sent out shortly. They were supposed to be in the mail already, other than the fact that I got COVID. Everyone knows this. And it's put me out of action for 10 days, basically. It's not that, I mean, the law, you don't have to stay at home anymore if you get it, but I couldn't go to work. That's a corporate thing. I could not go to my, weekday job, so couldn't do that. And I figure if I can't do that, I shouldn't be going out infecting anyone. So I stayed at home. The new t-shirts are ready. So this is another new thing for everyone. So mega fans, they will get their t-shirts sent out for free because it's part of their deal. However, I have now got screen printed new Scottys Garage shirts. We will keep them in stock, so no more getting stuff made to order. Well, not for this particular shirt anyway. The rest of the shirts will still be made to order, but these shirts we will have in stock from sizes ranging from medium up to 3XL. Above a 3XL, we're going to have to still get them custom made for the moment, but yeah, we will get there. It's a marathon, not a sprint. But yes, we're going to have t-shirts in stock that you can order through the website, and we can bag them up that night, get them in the mail to you next day. No more waiting. It's going to be fantastic. Check them out. I think they look great. But yeah, designed by yours truly again. And so, yeah, with your help, we're going to take Scottys Garage to bigger and better things. I know a lot of people are waiting to see the Valiants come back. That is happening. Obviously, I spent a lot of time on this 12s for 2K deal. That's all coming to a close very shortly. Getting back onto the Valiants, get into the trial bow, and then there's the new car that I need to talk about. But that, let's make sure that deal is done, which is happening in the next week or so. Get that signed off, and then we can talk about it, but that's a big deal. It's going to be awesome. So anyway, as always, guys, thanks for your support, for Patreon users, for YouTube fans. Even if you just click like and subscribe, it's all you need to do. Watch the videos. As a minimum, that helps us, If you want to do more, if you want to buy stuff through the Scottys Garage store, fantastic. If you want to support us on Patreon, even better. It all helps to create this awesome content. So sorry this episode isn't as good as I would like it to be, mainly because I've been locked in the house for the past week or so. Not locked in, but you know what I mean. Not infecting other people is my main deal. But yeah, it's hard to go and get car parts when you can't leave the house. So anyway, that's over and done with now. I have tested negative. Woohoo! Yes. I can go back to work, do car things with my car friends, and we can make awesome content. And you're going to see it all on future episodes of Scottys Garage.